twitch.tv/compete forever, facebook.com/gaming/compete forever, and also on YouTube, youtube.com/compete forever. This is Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports and esports here on Facebook, YouTube, and also Twitch. We'll take your phone calls live at 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is Esports Extra. That is 377-678-9872. Press the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley here from SNY TV. A little NBC Sports, a little Madden NFL, a little NBA 2K League as well. Got the Broskis today, just the three-man crew today. Renee's doing a gala today, so she's got the day off. It's a paid vacation from what I hear. I'll make sure that happens for our good friend, the queen of esports, Extra Renee. We got Duran Worrell, D-Dubs, down there in the Palm Beaches. Duran, where you at?
Royal Palm Beach off of Okeechobee Boulevard. Nice sunny Florida. A little rainy. It's had rain the last couple of days, but still all good and fun.
Little Ponce de Leon, huh? You found the fountain of youth?
Yes.
Look at you.
I feel younger.
You found it.
Get out of all the stress of Brooklyn. You feel a little younger.
and speaking of young, look at that young man, got that baby face. He was a baby face assassin at Brandeis. Look at him. A. Willie with the hoodie. No, you got a white tee on today. What's up, A. Willie?
What's good? Appreciate it again. Looking forward to diving in and having some good conversation.
Oh, man, we're going to cut a rug today, man. We're going to cut up today and have a little fun here live on Esports Extra. Got a good show for you guys today. Of course, Major League Baseball opening day about to start here in the next few minutes. We'll get into that. The Blue Jays still looking for a home. We're talking Mookie Betts and that mega deal that he got. You knew he was going to get some money when he turned down, $325 million from the Red Sox. So we got more than that. My guy, Yoenis Cespedes, looking to get back with the Mets. Look like he will be in the lineup tomorrow. Looks like for the Metropolitans in the DH role. Hasn't played since, I believe, almost 2 years. I believe it was July of 2018 last time, if I remember. We're talking also the Washington football team making news today with some new threads and also a new name. We'll get into that. Kenyon Drake, speaking of the NFL, he'll join us live here at about 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, 4:30 on the West Coast, where they show Cali some love out there with my guy, A. Willie, on the West Coast. Arizona Cardinals running back, we'll talk to him. Talk to him about that Miami miracle that he had a couple of years ago with the Dolphins, what it was like being traded to the desert, the land of the rising sun, or the desert out there in Phoenix. Also playing with QB1, Kyler Murray, the former OU star. What's it like playing with him? And also, Kenyon's a little into the video games. We'll chat it up and chop it up with them, talking about video games. Also, Woody Johnson in the news. The Jets. Can we call him the owner right now? Because his brother Christopher technically took over, but he's still really the owner, right, Derwin? I mean, pretty much.
Come on, D. That's in New York. Tell me what's up.
And I've been saying that we haven't seen that guy since 45 made him ambassador to the UK, and now all of a sudden he pops up in some kind of investigation.
Right.
I'm not surprised, knowing who he's dealing with. Right. Birds of a feather normally flock together. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with all that.
Well, we'll definitely get into that. We're talking Lambeau Field. We'll talk about the Mercedes-Benz Stadium down there in Atlanta as well. Also, Allegiant Stadium as well, the new stadium out in Vegas. We'll get you the latest what the Raiders are thinking about doing. Also, the Atlanta Hawks, the Birds down there, man. The ATLians got some new uniforms coming out for 2020-21. Ice Trey and the guys looking good. Got some nice swag. Talking about the swag. And their fall sports. Also some personal news. We'll get a little bit into it, not a whole lot, but we're hoping to partner with the SWAC. We'll talk more about that. Compete Forever on Black News Channel this weekend as well, episode 8. We'll get into that. All right, let's go to the top of the show. Major League Baseball underway in the nation's capital. Got a doubleheader today. You got the Yankees at the defending national champion Washington Nationals today. Garrett Cole, the $300 million man, pitching for the Pinstripes. Looks like it'll be our guy for the Nationals. Max Scherzer going for the Nats. Anthony Fauci, the doctor from NIAID, the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases, throwing out the first pitch. A 79-year-old that's from Brooklyn, New York, will be throwing out the first pitch. Major League Baseball also making news today, guys. 60-game schedule, we know. Expanded playoffs now. More money for the players and the owners. 16, that's right, up from 10 to 16. So eight in each conference. So damn near half, more than half Actually, it's more than half of the teams will make the playoffs. 16 of the 30 Major League Baseball teams. Certainly good news for us here in New York with the Mets and the Yankees. Guys, your thoughts here. Opening day, you got the Yankees, the Nats, you got the Dodgers and Giants out on the West Coast. Man, baseball is back. We got another of the pro sports returning. We'll start with you, A. Willie. Your excitement level 1 to 10. Baseball is back.
Well, with the sprint, I would say that my excitement is probably an 8. And let me say this too. I got a little hometown flair for this. Shout out Max Scherzer, St. Louis product.
Oh
right?
my goodness.
And then we got those Dodgers, even though we got some bad news with Kershaw, but we got those Dodgers, we got that going. So I'm very happy to see this coming back. And I think too, as well, with the shortened season, with the sprint, I think it'll be more interest in the sport. And also too, with over half the teams in the playoffs, I think is interesting as well. Because for me personally, when we won the World Series in 2004, we won it as a wild card. Mm-hmm. And you saw a lot of teams win it as a wild card. And Major League Baseball has done a little bit better job of rewarding those division winners.
Last year's winner was a wild card. I believe the Nationals were. The Braves won the NL East.
Exactly. So with a sport that is falling behind MLS in terms of the American sports conscience, and it's almost fourth now, I think anything that they can do to add some drama to the sport, to bring more mainstream fans in, to make people care about it more, especially when they're struggling with having, quote unquote, the best athletes actually play the sport. I think anything they can do to bring some interest in it is good.
D-Dubs, you look at this playoff share. Remember the new deal was only going to be 10 teams, now up to 16, so 3 in each conference, the AL and NL. Also, you look at it from a revenue standpoint, players are going to get, I hear, 60% of the revenue from postseason, or at least $50 million there. So nice little payday for the players. You knew this was going to happen. It seems like once they got the deal done, your boy, man, Manfred and Tony Clark got kind of close, chummy, if you will, you know?
And one, they're fighting for eyeballs. So anything you can do to make it a little bit more competitive and keep the interest of the players and the fans, you want to do that. So that was good to see. Also, while you were doing your opening monologue, I had a chance when my phone went off.
Did he just say opening monologue?
Well, you know, this feel that you normally
monologues.
Do it.
You hear it?
Right?
Ridley monologues.
The Yankees, I got a notification that the Yankees and the Nationals, every player took a knee. And I just peeked at the video. So It's a sight to see where every single national player was up the first base line. They were all on their knees, coaches, everyone. And on the third base side, all the Yankees all took a knee. And I got a chance to peek at that video firsthand while you were talking. But they started off the season right. Yankees and Nationals, defending champs, getting their rings. You got 2 aces on the mound. Mm-hmm. It should be a good start to the season. And later on, you got Dodgers and
go ahead
Giants.
And say it, D.
And Giants. But you know what? I'm a little confused. I thought, are you California or are you St. Louis?
Or Dallas or Boston or Chicago or
where are you repping? I mean, I don't understand.
All over. Born in St. Louis, grew up in California.
Pick one.
No, we ride with both.
No.
You said hometown St. Louis, and that got me confused.
No. Look, I'm from Nashville, and I kind of adopted Boston. So I got
you adopted the Boston team because you don't have anything going on.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Shots fired.
He called him a carpetbagger.
But I'm only down with 2 teams. You're down with like 3, 4, or 5. I mean, you got St. Louis, you got Chicago, you got Boston, you claim the West Side. Pick 2, man. And that's it. No more than 2.
But in baseball, we picking 2. Cardinals and Dodgers. Plus, I'm a Jackie Robinson guy.
You can't like the same teams in the same conference, damn it. We're not doing that.
Yes, I can, man. I can.
That's like liking Duke and Carolina. You can't
do it. No, it's not, man. Now, if I told you I was a Cardinals and Cubs fan, then you'd be like, all right, yeah. Or if I said I'm a Giants and Dodgers fan, that's a different story.
Absolutely. You're great.
Yeah.
Okay. Your thoughts on the season starting, man?
I got ties to these places.
Yeah. Hey, Willie, your thoughts, man? Major League Baseball is back, man, with everything and the news that D-Dubs just brought, man, that we saw Gabe Kapler, right, a couple of nights in a row with the Giants, the manager, taking a knee and kneeling. And then 4 of the Cincinnati Reds players, according to Derwin, all of them took a knee. Was it both teams or just the Nationals or
Both
just the Yankees?
teams.
All of them, managers, everybody.
I didn't see not one guy standing in that video, not one.
Hey,
because the caption said everyone, so I had to see for myself before I said anything. And I looked at it; everybody was on it.
Hey, Willie, your thoughts, bro?
No, it's great. And but one of the things I like to say, I wanted to talk about this yesterday when we were talking about Gabe Kapler, is the player for the A's, Bruce, and I cannot remember his last name, that took a knee. And he was very upset because he felt like when he took that knee, A, that support wasn't there. And then B, he also said too, okay, let's make sure that we have this symbolic action. Let's make sure it's followed up by some real action. Mm-hmm. So he deserves a lot of credit for taking that knee when it wasn't very popular in baseball as well.
2017, right?
Yes,
I believe.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I think it's good again because we're starting to move toward a situation where we actually have people understanding what the gesture means. And when you have some understanding, maybe people start to actually think about why people are actually making that gesture. So again, that's different than tolerance, completely different than, all right, we'll tolerate that. So having that and having, people really understanding what this cause is about and moving towards some real change is something, again, that I want to that I like and I want to continue to see it.
Yeah, so they are underway on the nation's capital. I know we got some rain in the forecast. We'll see if they can hold it off. And then a plethora of teams playing tomorrow, July 24th. Including the Mets and Braves here in the city, New York at Citi Field in Queens off the 7 line. Go ahead, D-Dubs, what you got?
One last thing, since,
You see him, America? He's like, don't forget about me. looking like a black Joe Namath.
Hey, Willie talked about, that young man, deserving some credit for stepping up and taking a knee. What's going to be interesting now, after I just watched that little video, is that I saw also that the president of the United States is going to be throwing out the first pitch August 15th in the Bronx.
Uh-huh.
Now, what is he going to have to say when he goes to throw out the first pitch and all the Yankees come out and take a knee? That's going to be interesting to see as well.
Well, Judge and Stanton and Chapman and Duhar, some of those guys, they'll be taking a knee. But the funny thing is, he talked about it from the podium today. The president, no fans will be there, so he's got to get used to that as well. So there won't be a whole lot of fanfare and things of that nature for he or anyone for that matter during that throwing out of the first pitch mid-August here in the Boogie Down Bronx. All right, keep it on the baseball down. Blue Jays. Canada kicked them out last week. They were looking for homes, maybe Buffalo, maybe Dunedin, Florida, their spring training home. They thought they had a deal with the Pirates, the city. The team said, "Hey, you can come play here." I think there were only 2 conflicts of dates that they couldn't use the stadium. But now the health officials in Pennsylvania said, Pennsylvania, they put the brakes on that. So now the Blue Jays, here we are, baseball eve or baseball opening day eve for everyone else tomorrow. They have the home opener, in literally 1 week from today, the 29th, actually 6 days away, next Wednesday. They have nowhere to play. Hey, Willie, what the hell is going on with Major League Baseball? Where will your Toronto Blue Jays play? It's got to be they've got to barnstorm and play as the visiting team all over, or they've got Dunedin or Buffalo. I know they want a Major League Park. I don't know if that's going to happen, man. Not enough time.
Right. One of the options too that they were thinking about, and I don't know if it's still on the table, they were thinking about playing in Charlotte's minor league park, and it's one of the newer minor league parks in the country. So it'll have some amenities. It won't be like playing in a major league park, but it won't be like playing in an old minor league park at the same time. So I don't know if that's still on the table.
Well, Nashville has a pretty new minor league park too. The Nashville Sounds, they want to play at a new minor league park.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Minor league parks.
Yeah, I feel like they might have to end up barnstorming and be the home team while they're on the road.
Absolutely.
And it's one of the issues that you have when you're playing a sport and you guys aren't in the bubble. You're not going to have fans, but you're not playing in the bubble. So I think it's very interesting to see what they end up doing. And again, as everyone has said, I don't blame Toronto or Canada for one bit saying, "Hey, we don't want that type of smoke." I don't blame them one bit, right? So,
They
so with that
basically
being,
said, you ugly Americans, you're nasty.
yes, exactly. Don't want you here. So with that being said, it's really, it's also kind of on brand for baseball, because even with them arriving to the decision to play, there were speed bumps along the way. So this is on brand for them to kind of in the 11th hour try and figure some things out. That's how they've been throughout this entire process. And part of it is the players union, how strong they are. But again, it's on brand for baseball, as here we are trying to get some positive momentum. They could have taken advantage of having no sports, given the fact that they are a non-contact, non-collision, and a social distancing sport. Absolutely. They could have been the first one at the plate, and they missed the opportunity. So this is really on brand for baseball to see this happening.
Yeah, that recent fight between the league, MLB, and the players union, which is the strongest of the four professional sports. D-Dubs, your thoughts here on the Pirates still looking, or the Jays looking for a home? It will not be the Pirates, at least according to the health officials in the state of Pennsylvania.
Well, just reading some articles, Ross Atkins, the general manager for the Blue Jays, they definitely are looking for a major league ballpark to play in. So Buffalo is really not like a last resort for them, but also saw today that the Baltimore Orioles have okayed them to play there, but they have to wait to see what the governor of Maryland says.
Larry Hogan.
Larry Hogan. Now, see, Pittsburgh would have worked because, remember, we're trying to keep these games regional. So going down to North Carolina kind of a little bit takes them out of the region.
Just a little bit, but yeah.
Just a little bit, even though they got to play Tampa too. But you kind of want to keep them close East Coast and not have them too far Midwest. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm glad that Baltimore, in the same division, says it's okay. But let's see what Larry Hogan says. And really, at the end of the day, the numbers are going to dictate how Maryland is doing with these numbers with the COVID. Are they continuing to go down? It's going to be the key.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the Jays, man. You would never have thought that this would be the case here. A team without a home, a team without a country right now. That's sad. You think about it. You're a citizen without a country right now. I mean, that's a bit much. But we'll keep an eye on the Blue Jays and where they go. But you're right. They want a major league stadium, a major league ballpark. It's going to be tough to find. We'll see if that matches up with the Orioles. Maybe they play as the visiting team like we just talked about. Just go to Buffalo, man, and just chalk it up. Look, they got an exciting team. It's a weird year anyway. You're going to be at a competitive disadvantage, but almost in a way, there are no fans there, so it really doesn't matter where you're going to be at anyway. Just get out there and play, man, and take the headache and the worry out of your players, and just let them get out there on the field and just roll the balls and the sunflower seeds and the bubble gum and the big league chew, and just let them go and do their things, man. Also, if you were in Boston, give them some chicken and beer as well, and see how far you can go. We'll keep it. I was there for all that. We'll keep it here on the diamond. Mookie Betts. We talked about the Red Sox, former Red Sox, homegrown Nashvilleian, born and raised in the field.
We knew that was coming.
Mookie Betts. Look, my thing is, it's a great deal. $365 million over 12 years. If you add the year this year, it's really a 13-year deal, playing through the year 2032. Totals to about $392 million. He's making 27 this year, and then you add the 365 over the next 12. So it's about $392 million. I've read that it's the largest deal in Major League Baseball, but actually it's not. Mike Trout got 12 years, $426, but it was 10 years, $360, new money. Betts was 10 years, $365, new money. But if you add it all together, I'm going to give Mike Trout the nod. But hell, both of them are making a hell of a lot of money, almost $400 million. Good for Mookie Betts. He's one of the top 2 or 3 everyday players in Major League Baseball. I want to see more of the personality because he's kind of a quiet guy, but he can be funny when you engage him and things of that nature. Good for Mookie Betts. The Dodgers are going to be great for the next, I don't know how many years. They got Bellinger out there. They got a great, Bueller. They have a great staff, a great team. The Dodgers are going to be hell to deal with over the next 10 years. We'll start with you, A. Willie, since that's your neck of the wood on that region out there in SoCal.
One of your teams.
Right. I have organic ties.
You were born there. We got it. Well, you live there. There's nothing organic about them that you live there.
No, it's I think it's good. It's good for the Dodgers because they had pretty rich farm system, but they gave up some of that to get Mookie Betts. So I think it's a good deal for them to actually, because for the last couple of years, even though they've been competitive and they've been one step short from winning that World Series, they actually have been pretty frugal in the offseason. So the fact that they actually plunged and splurged and spent some money on the guy is probably good, because I know some people that are fans there that will wonder, hey, what are we doing? Because we're being a little cheap here, even though we have a high payroll, not spending a lot of money in free agency. So I think from that standpoint, it's good. It's also good for Major League Baseball, because you have one of your better players, as you said, Larry, who should probably show more of his personality. Baseball needs it, especially if they want to diversify their fan base.
Sure.
They need him to be more of a marquee type of player. So
market to damn players, Major League Baseball. We've been talking
exactly
about
right.
this.
Yeah. Exactly
Put
right.
them out there for America.
Exactly right.
They'll like them. All those guys are good guys. Trout, Mookie Betts, all those guys. Aaron Judge, all great personalities. Excellent.
No question.
Men, and good human beings and role models as well.
No question. And the last thing I'd like to mention too is as we're watching these guys, and it's ironic that this is in baseball, in a sport that doesn't have a cap, and I know A-Rod took some heat for that, but 8 of the top 10 richest contracts from an individual standpoint in North American professional sports reside in baseball. The other 2 are Mahomes and the money that Canelo got from DAZN. So with that being said, the person that really needs some recognition here is Curt Flood, because he has, in terms
of free agency.
No question. No question. So people, whether it's Patrick Mahomes, whether it's the other guys in baseball that are part of that top 10 in terms of richest contracts in North American sport, professional sports, they all need to show some love to Curt Flood. And because of his contributions, I think, and I'm standing on it, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
D-Dubs, real quickly, Mookie Betts, man, Hollywood, baby, not Bollywood, Hollywood.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm always kind of skeptic about contracts that go over 10 years, but he's an awesome player. I just remember him.
Yeah, it's not, you're not going to get your money's worth, but if he can give you 5, 6, or 7 good years, you eat the 3.
Yeah, but
you win 1 or 2.
Yeah. You're paying for past performance and
you gotta win now. You gotta win 1.
Yeah.
And he's a great hitter. I remember plenty of times Yankees can get him out. There's a lot of teams that can't get this guy out. He's a very good player. It'd be great to see.
Had a down year last year, and look at his numbers. Still about 330 home runs, and that was a bad year.
And he's in the second largest market in the country. Yeah. So LA needs to market him and put his face out there. Get him in more commercials. He should be sought after.
He should go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and do a commercial with them.
Hey,
there it is.
Hey, do some commercials. Seems to be a likable guy, and people love him. They love to see him more. But now you got to win it. You got to win one.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time the Dodgers? 88. That's 88. A long time.
80. Yeah, that's a damn long time.
Absolutely. That's a long time. You
got
just
what is he doing?
Kurt Gibson.
Oh, I was like, what are you doing?
When he was running around the bases.
Yeah. Man, that was a long time ago.
88.
Hey, Willie's starting to get comfortable, man. You see him? He's starting to cut up a little bit. Acting a fool a little bit. doing his chicken wing.
And we would have gone that long here in New York, man. You could forget it.
Yeah. Well, we have fan base with one of our teams, the Mets. 2 years preceded that, 86.
86.
Yeah.
86.
And don't get me started with the basketball. That's
73.
Yeah.
I'll say too, the other thing too, as what D was saying, to piggyback on that, and being familiar with the LA sports landscape, there's lots of competition out there. So with that being said, make sure you get this guy. You finally have your marquee guy and you market him. I think that's something that the Dodgers really needed to do, because there's a lot of competition in Southern California.
Absolutely. We showed one of the pictures. We showed a bunch of pictures, probably like 10 of them, of Mookie Betts. Had a lot of great images. One of them was him with the shades on, the baseball shades, and you can see the Hollywood symbol in the shades right there. And I'm like, yeah, that's LA, man. That's box office right there.
Right.
In La La Land. We'll keep it on the baseball diamond real quickly. Last baseball topic here. UNS Cespedes right here in New York. Queens with the New York Metropolitans. The Mets going to be on the DH roll tomorrow, probably batting 4th or fifth there, likely to clean up for the Mets. First time he's played since damn near 24 months, back in July of 2018 at the double heel surgery. And then last year had the accident on his ranch with the wild boars out there. Lost some money, has a chance with incentives to get some of that back this year. Yoenis Cespedes always plays well when there's a contract. Little carrot dangling in front of his face right there. Yo is back. I'm glad. I think the Mets have one of the best lineups in the National League. Took a hit with the pitching. We'll talk about that another time. But your thoughts on Yoenis Cespedes being back in the lineup and how much punch will he give the New York Metropolitans? We'll go with you first, D-Dubs.
I mean, I've always liked the guy. I always thought he was a very good player. But 4-year deal since, got it in 2016, 110 million, really has not lived up to that at all. I don't know.
Well, in 2015 and 16, he got into the playoffs. In the last 2 years, he's been hurt.
You figure you got to be a tough guy. You're fooling around with wild boars on your ranch. I don't know who has wild boars, but
George Hill.
That's nuts. But this is a walk year for him. So if he wants another contract at 27, he's got to show and prove. If not, no one's going to pay him any money at the end of the year. But this is the time for him to show and prove. And I read some statements from him that, he feels like he can play the field, but it's trying to hold him back a little bit because they don't want him.
Oh, they told him, dude, don't go more than like 50, 75% running. We don't want that. Because sometimes when he opens it up, he's had a history of leg injuries. So that you're absolutely right with that, with pulls and things of that nature.
Yeah, so we'll see, but he's going to want to do something because this is his last year on that contract.
No, we want you to get in that lineup as a DH and shut up and stay healthy. Okay. I don't want him playing the field more than once or twice a week. No more. I want to see him in left field out of 60 games. Anything more than probably 10 or 15 times, I'm going to say, whoa, I'm out. That's too much.
That might be a safe way to protect him from himself. I could deal with that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, Willie, your thoughts? Yo, back in the lineup for the Metropolitans.
No, I think it's good for them. And as you and D both said, the fact that you want to limit his opportunities in the field and just let him rake. I think that would probably be the best way to sort of maximize his production as a player. And, the other thing, when he got that deal, it made me think about the Clippers a little bit as well. And I actually experienced this a little bit when I was with the Red Sox, when Pedro left in 2005 at the end of that season. And the Mets signed him, I think it was 57/4, right? And so when they signed him, one of the reasons why people are looking, man, that's a crazy deal. After we had just won the World Series in 2004 and then lost in the playoffs in 2005, we had enough, I guess, cachet with the fans that we didn't have to commit to that type of deal with Pedro. But when you are a team that's living in the shadow of Yankee Stadium,
right,
and you are struggling for relevance, you sometimes have to dive and swim in pools that you don't want to swim in, just to show to other players in the league that, hey, you know what? We are trying to win a championship here. So,
well, he earned it. He carried them to the playoffs in 2015.
He did.
17, 18 home runs in like 50 games. They went to the World Series. 2016, carried their butts back to the playoffs. Then the injuries and things of that nature, 17 and 18.
So when you're them, you have to do that. So it's oftentimes, and then as D said, oftentimes when the teams have to do that, then it doesn't work out. It looks bad. But, there's lots of things that are going on, lots of things that play when you think about these decisions. So I certainly love to see him just at the plate, not in the field.
All right, guys, we're going to go. We'll talk about the Washington football team. We're going to bring that up right now. But first, we'll go to the line here. This is Esports Extra, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports and esports. We'll take your phone calls, 877-853-5247. Meeting ID is Esports Extra. That's 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley, SNY TV. A little bit of NBA 2K League Madden as well. We're waiting. We'll see if we can get our guy,
Kenyon Drake.
Kenyon Drake. He just called in. I guess he'll call back. Coach K, as soon as he calls back, put him straight through so we can just hear him. Hopefully he'll be able to call back. Real quickly, guys, let's get your thoughts on the Washington football team. Dropped the name and the logo, hired Julie Donaldson a couple of days ago. All right, he's on the line now. Let's go live to the phone lines here on Esports Extra. Let's bring in Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake, the running back for the Arizona Cardinals, also played football in college at Alabama. Kenyon, good Thursday to you, brother. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, bro.
Oh, okay, cool, perfect. I was having some issues unmuting, but I'm glad I'm good now. But happy to be here, though, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Hey man, you are a bad dude, man. From your days at Alabama, you did your thing down on South Beach with the Dolphins. You're in the NFL now. Been in the year in the league some years, a handful of years now. I want to get your thoughts. The news coming out today with the Washington Redskins. No name, change that name. No more Redskins. They'll be now known as the Washington Football Team. Your thoughts on those jerseys, which have a little bit of an Alabama feel to when you look at the helmets with just the numbers on the helmets. Your thoughts on the Washington Football Team and the swag and the unis they're going to be wearing this year?
Yeah, from the whole perspective of, trying to rebrand the team and, create a new logo, the whole nine, especially at such short notice, I feel like it's a good idea by the team to kind of just go, I guess, brandless for the time being until, the next year or so to kind of get everything situated from apparel, the whole nine, business standpoint. I feel like it's a good business decision. I like the uniform. They're pretty simple, but, obviously get the point across with the team colors. The numbers on the helmet definitely is something that I could attest to, obviously, with playing in Alabama. And I feel like a lot of players that on that team, from John Allen, Landon, Ryan Anderson, and a boatload of other guys, Sean Deion Hamilton, that played at Alabama, probably feel like home as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I thought about you guys when I saw the numbers on the helmet, but you're right, staying classy and clean, tradition rich there with the burgundy and gold. We'll see about the Redskins down the road. Let's talk about the Washington Football Team down the road. Let's talk about your former team, the Miami Dolphins, man. I worked down in Miami, covered the Dolphins, also covered the Patriots in Boston for 6 years. I'm here in New York City, so I get to cover the Jets a little bit as well. I want to take you back to December of 2018, man, a couple of years ago. The Miami Miracle, man. You guys were down 5 points, last play of the game, 69 yards standing between you guys and beating the New England Patriots. What was going through your mind, man, when the receiver caught the ball and then you got the pitch, man, and you got the block on Chung, and then it was just you and Gronk, and you won that race, man. Just your vivid memories of the Miami Miracle, man, which is, I think, one of the coolest plays of the last few years.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely one of the coolest plays and I've ever been a part of as well. But Adam Gase kind of had a great game plan for the last play of the game. And ironically, for some reason, leading up to that point, all the weeks that we were prepped at the day before doing last play of the game situations, we never got the play right. As simple as it may seem like the play was, somebody might not be in the right position because it wasn't something that we always practiced. It was just something that we would do like right before the end of the day on Saturday before the game. So leading up to that game, we did it, and we actually had, everybody in the right position. Everybody, got the play right, and we was like, well, hopefully we don't need it. And lo and behold, we're going to the game, and the situation comes up. Kenny catches the hook, pitches it to Devontae. He kind of pitches it fast to me, and kind of puts the timing of the whole play off. But I get it, and now I'm kind of trying to figure out what to do in improv because that's the end of the scripted play. I kind of cut back, looking for somebody maybe to throw across the field, and as I do that, the defenders on the other side of the field, they don't really converge on me at all. They just kind of, if everybody tries to find somebody maybe that I possibly throw the ball to in a lateral, and here comes Ted Larson, Mr. I feel like in my eyes, Mind Circle himself, he comes up with a great block, steals Patrick Chung as I'm, really taking the ball myself at that point, and I see Gronk, and I kid you not, the only thing that I thought when I saw Gronk in the end zone or, between me and the end zone is I couldn't get tackled by him. I feel like he's going to be a Hall of Fame tight end, but he wasn't going to be known for tackling me. I was able to get in the end zone. I just hit the gas and, I beat him there.
We're showing the video right now, man. I can never get enough of this. I remember myself and my business partner, Kevin, we were at a sports bar, man, in Atlantic City, and we were about to walk out. I'm like, all right, the Patriots won this game. And I just heard this loud roar. We turn around. I'm like, no, they didn't score. What was going through your mind? Like, dude, no one scores on this book. We all practice it. It's the swinging gate, things of that nature. We all practice it. But it went to Kenny Stills, to Devontae, to you. And, dude, it was pretty clean. Like, I mean, you guys ran it better than probably it was drawn up. Like, you really weren't even touched. that play never works. I mean, just walk us through that.
Yeah, like I said beforehand, the weeks leading up, we would practice that before, and like I said, it wasn't anything that we practiced all the time. It was just those situational, plays, and it might have, and that just happened to be the last play of the game that we practiced, or the day before that play was a play we practiced. It was like 4 other last play of the game that we all kind of would get mixed up in our brains. We're like, all right, which one is it today? And that happened to be the one that we was able to, run clean for the first time. It felt like all year. That was like a late game, like December, like you said. So, with that being said, we were like, well, all right, well, since we ran that play clean, let's, go out here and actually run it. And, lo and behold, we ran it smooth. And I mean, I feel like Belichick also, he admitted that maybe having Gronk back there was not the best game plan in terms of having a jump ball scenario, because if you I don't know if y'all remember, but Tannehill hurt his
arm that
ankle.
game. Yeah, he was hurt that
his
game.
Ankle or arm, so he wasn't even gonna. I don't think. I mean, I know Tannehill has a strong arm, but I don't even know if he can throw the ball that far, regardless if he's healthy completely. You know what I mean? So the fact that they had that scenario out there, or Gronk out there in that situation, to defend the jump ball when that wasn't even going to be a play that we ran. It just kind of bode well in our favor as well, because not saying that anybody else there would tackle me, but they would have had a better chance.
Yeah, I saw Jackson, the kid from Florida. If you would have ran another 5 yards, he probably would have hawked you down, but it didn't matter, man. 69 yards to the house. You guys got the score. Real quickly before we let you get out of here, I wanted to get your thoughts on being traded last year. You played 8 games with the Cardinals. How do you like it out there with the Birdland and the Bird Gang out there with the Cardinals, man, and also playing with Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I'm excited. We added a couple of key pieces on defense, and obviously big trade and DeAndre Hopkins before the free agency period. So with Kyler Murray having another year on his belt, Kingsbury coming in, and obviously he has another year on his belt in the league in general. I'll have a full season to kind of get this train and ball moving forward. I'm excited about an opportunity to go out there and have a very successful team on both sides of the ball.
Tell us a little bit real quickly about QB1, Kyler Murray, man. People look at his size, diminutive out there, but Duke and ball, we saw what he could do at OU, man. We saw it last year with the numbers. Offensive Player of the Year last year in the National Football League. How good is Kyler Murray, QB1, for the Cards out there?
At every level of competition he's played in this game, in either other sport, he's been a winner. And that's what he expects of himself, and that's what he expects of the guys around him. So no matter his stature or whatever people may think of him, he goes out there and proves, people wrong or right if they're in his corner, to go out there and be obviously one of the best athletes on the field and the best quarterback to lead this team to where we want to be. So I'm excited. He is excited to kind of get out there. I think they reported today, so I'm pretty sure he's here now. Hopefully everything goes well in terms of everybody coming in and checking out boxes, making sure everybody's ready to go. I'm excited.
All right, lastly, real quickly, I lied. One more question, about 30 seconds or less here. Your love for video games, we talked about it yesterday for this thing we're doing with the Extra Life Phoenix Children's Hospital. But for our audience here on esportsXTRA that really haven't seen you and don't know really a whole lot about your background, how much are you into gaming? And we talked about your Madden rating. Are you satisfied with your 80-plus Madden rating in the Madden 21 game coming out next month?
Yeah, no, not at all. 82. Feel like I definitely should be higher, but I'm gonna let my play on the field speak for itself, and obviously then it'll represent where I feel like I should be. I'm a big gamer, grew up playing video games my whole life, so it's just another avenue for me to be competitive. So check me out in the game. Boost my stats if you need to for where you feel like I need to be, and I'm excited to get on this field this year.
Yeah, we're showing some pictures of you with the Cardinals and, of course, also with the Dolphins last year. So, yeah, all you guys out there, Madden Ultimate Team, if you need a good running back, man, Kenyon Drake with the Cardinals is a guy, man, that can tote that thing. Kenyon, I know you got another interview coming up, man. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for helping us with the Extra Life PCH, man. And you're always welcome here on esportsXTRA, man. Good luck this season, man, and be safe, man, and take care of the family, bro.
Yes, sir. Y'all as well.
All right, good stuff, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's Kenyon Drake, one of our favorites here. Good brother from Alabama, from high school. I think it was in the Atlanta area. I think Powder Springs, somewhere in Georgia. Went to Alabama. Played with those guys. Now doing his thing. Had a good career with the Dolphins. Got traded last year for some picks with the Arizona Cardinals. Played 8 games. Did his thing last year. Got a chance. I think the Cardinals are going to be sneaky good this year. We'll see about the defense. They got Chandler Jones, but offensively, man, they're going to be a bear. D Hop, Nuke the Bomb. You got Larry Fitzgerald. You got, Kyler Murray, QB1, and then you got Kenyon Drake in the backfield. That's pretty good offensive weapons. We'll see if they can stop people, but they got some pieces out there. As they like to say, see red, bleed red out there in the desert. You guys' thoughts on anything that Kenyon was talking about? We'll start with you, Derwin.
Well, Kenyon Drake, it seemed like when he was in Miami, he seemed like at times he seemed to be in the doghouse, never really got the ball as much as people thought he should get the ball.
When he got it, he made things happen.
Then when he went to Arizona, he had some breakout games. I think the San Francisco game, he was just running wild. And then it says a lot, when an organization decides to trade David Johnson, who they really liked, and that kind of tells me, they got DeAndre Hopkins, but it kind of tells me they were real comfortable with the running back situation in Kenyon Drake, and they have a lot of confidence in him. So we'll see. The desert is hot, but I'm not ready to drink that Kool-Aid with Arizona, with Arizona as of yet. I think I need to see more for Kyler Murray. That's just me. I mean, I'm not going to crown him after 1 year. As of right now, I think they're the fourth best team in the division.
All right, okay.
Until they show me something.
I probably can't disagree with you. But that division last year was all four teams over 500 last year? I think so.
Were the Cardinals six? What were the Cardinals?
I thought they were 7-9, 7-9 maybe.
I don't think they won that.
Okay, well, 3 of the teams. Well, maybe the Rams didn't finish either. Look, it's clearly one of the top
game too.
They're clearly one of the top 2 or 3 conferences, divisions in the NFL. I'd put them up there with the NFC South and probably NFC West. Probably my second, toughest conference. Your thoughts on Kenyon Drake and anything that he spoke about, Willie?
Hey, one of the things I traded for him on Madden, and when I first got the game, and I was happy that I did. Good production. But no, a big fan of him. Also, too, one of the things about Alabama backs, because they share the load while they're at Alabama.
Yeah, that's
not a lot of tread on the tires.
Yes.
Right. So, when they get in feature roles, they have and to what Dee was saying earlier, he wasn't really in a feature role in Miami. So he's a guy that probably has a little more tread on his tires for a guy that's been in the league for a few years. So, and when he got to Arizona, he just kind of turned it loose in that system as well. So again, tough division, very tough division. Second-year quarterback in a tough division, but at the same time, they do have some things to be excited about. People should be excited for sure.
Young team, young quarterback, put up some great numbers last year. Kyler Murray, QB1 out there in Arizona. Let's go back to the Washington football team before Kenyon called. Yeah, it's weird to say that. Maybe I know some teams, some offices and leagues and media members are doing this sort of tip jar, slur jar, if you will. Anytime you call them the Redskins, or you have to give some money. Maybe we should do that on this show. Maybe you got to give a quarter every time you slip up and say the name, because we don't have the big money like some of those people. So we'll do a quarter or maybe $1 or something like that. But the Washington football team, your thoughts on everything they rolled out? It seems like Julie and all those folks are in there. They're at the table. Established since 1932. The colors aren't going anywhere. Burgundy and gold, clean, classic, traditional look to it. Numbers on the side of the helmet. Okay, I'm fine. Now come up with a name and start working on that process and improve the product on the field. Then we can talk. Hey, Willie, your thoughts?
No, agree with everything that you said. It was good that they made a quick decision and didn't rush the name, but just made a quick decision to do away with the old name, which was good. And then also, too, as you said earlier with the Alabama reference, just having the numbers on the helmet. It's good for a franchise that now, since they don't have a name, you need to bring some sort of identity to the franchise. So hopefully maybe Chase Young can be that guy, et cetera, when you put that number on the side of that helmet. So those players become the story, which is good. And so I think given the circumstances that they're in, this is probably the best case scenario.
Yeah, good stuff. D-Dubs, your thoughts, man. Washington football team. We showed a beanie, showed a face mask, and we showed Haskins Jr. or somebody modeling the jerseys, white, the maroon jersey as well, the burgundy jersey as well. Your thoughts on what you've seen so far today?
I like it. And when I first saw it, the first thing I thought about, one of my friends, good friends from Virginia State, long time Washington football fan, and I wanted to know what she thought. And she touched upon a lot of things that A. Willie talked about. She said that she's glad that they did not rush the name. You know, they need to find a name that's good for marketing, good for branding. Take your time with it. Don't rush it. And all along, she's always said she wants to keep the colors. They did that. And looking at the uniforms look nice. They kept the colors, put the little numbers on the helmet. And maybe after this season, because you didn't want to go out this season with that name. So they're not doing that. But while they're thinking about it for the rest of the season, come up with a nice name that you can market and, you know, the fan base will get behind, and just take your time with it.
It's going to be weird, though, when they play, saying, we've said it in jest before. I think I've even said it on the air a few times if I wasn't totally comfortable saying Redskins, or I would just say Skins maybe at times. And hell, that could be, you know, offensive. If a Native American person told me that's offensive too, I would back off. That's kind of how you treat these things in America. People could learn from us on the show how to treat people that feel oppressed and or marginalized. It's going to be weird to say the Washington football team. And then you see the logo. It's just the, you know, just the yellow W there. But I know Julie was tweeting about it today. They've had some people. They're also encouraging fans and input from the community and fans as well. I think that's a good thing. Want to go back to the phone lines, Coach? Anybody's on? Let's go to the phone lines. Let's bring somebody in, guys. Live here on Esports Extra, 877-853-5247. Caller, you're on the air. Who we're speaking with?
This is OG, man.
OG!
What up,
hey.
OG?
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Nothing, man. Just prepping that. Well, we just finished prepping up for our matchup against T-Wolves tonight at 8 o'clock.
NBA 2K League, man.
Let's get it.
What it looks like, man. I mean, what are we gonna do, man? We got to get chalk, man. 50 shots, man.
Well, you know, we playing in the turn, and they had the banning of the Archetypes. So I think we're optimistic. We getting a chance to utilize the lineup that we've been practicing on, because what the other team chose to ban didn't affect what we've been prepping for. So definitely, I'm excited to see how we do from it, and it's definitely going to be a different look. No other team is ran the lineup that we're about to run.
All right, you're watching Esports Extra here live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll take your phone calls live, 877-853-5247. Meeting ID Esports Extra, 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley here talking to one of the co-hosts of Esports Extra, head coach of the NBA 2K League's Brooklyn Nets gaming crew, OG King Kurt, Ivan Curtis. Kurt, you were just talking about banning of the Archetypes. For the audience that's paying attention that don't know what you're talking about. What is it? What does that entail, banning of the Archetypes? What is that? What's the rules?
Basically, you can select archetypes. Each team can select archetypes that they want to ban in hopes to limiting the other team. So basically, you have point guard, shooting guard, small forward and power forward, and center builds that you can play on. So basically, other teams try to strategize and take away builds that can make teams more effective.
Do you get to pick one or multiple ones? Because there are 5 players. Is it one that spans across all 5 positions, or you pick a position and a build in that position?
Basically, it's been a new. They implemented something new this year as far as the banning process. Basically, the away team picks first. They select the ban, and then it alternates. You get 2 bans per team, and after that, you pretty much play the series. Now the bans change within the games. You get I think it's 2, 1, and 1. So you get to take away a total of 3 bans for the series. And I think we're sitting in a spot that we wanted to sit in as far as the first game goes. So I'm optimistic. The players are optimistic. We're just ready to rock and roll here soon.
Cool, man. Before we let you go, man, good luck to the Brooklyn Nets tonight, guys. Catch them on Twitch. twitch.tv/NBA2K League, and also on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. Real quickly, want to get your thoughts, OG, before you get back to your team with the Brooklyn Nets gaming crew. Washington football team, the new uniforms, the new name, this clean look, keeping of the burgundy and gold, the numbers on the sides of the helmet. Your thoughts on the Washington football team, OG?
I mean, they're turning the leaf there, and I mean, probably not the most attractive, but I mean, they have to start somewhere. It's going to be a challenge for fans, of course, that've been used to calling them what they previously been called. But I think they'll get through it. The easiest thing for them is to make sure they can be competitive and make the focus be on the team more than changing the name and the uniforms and everything else.
That's exactly what I said, man. I appreciate your kind words. OG, good luck to the Nets. We're rooting for you guys, man. I'll talk to you tonight, man. Hopefully it'll be after a Nets win and moving on in the tournament, man. Really appreciate it. Good luck to you guys, and we'll talk to you soon, bro.
Good luck.
Let's go get it, OG.
Right.
Hey, OG, I got one
appreciate
question. One question before I let you leave. Where Brooklyn at?
Go ahead. We here. We in the heart of it. We at the Barclays Center. So I mean, we ready to rock and roll, man.
Go get that dub, bro. We'll talk to you.
Yes, sir.
All right, appreciate it.
Good stuff. That is OG King Kurt, Ivan Curtis, co-host here on Esports Extra, head coach of the NBA 2K League's Brooklyn Nets gaming crew. We cut somebody off? Who was talking? Washington football team, I think, right?
We were talking about Washington football team. I think.
Who was it?
I think A. Will was talking.
Hey, well, go ahead. Finish
No,
your thought.
I actually just finished, and then D was talking, and then I think you were talking.
Okay, well, I'm done talking. We're gonna keep it moving. To the next topic. Coach Ken and I, we have an early 6 a.m. flight in the morning, so we're gonna speed through these things. We're heading to the A to go see Renee down there. Woody Johnson, guys, in the news. You saw his star player, I think the best player on the Jets right now, especially on the defense, Jamal Adams, the All-Pro, multiple times, 2 times All-Pro, not Pro Bowl. We'll call him Pro Bowl safety. Jamal Adams didn't like what was going on. It was reported by national news outlets, a bunch of news outlets yesterday, that Woody Johnson engaged in alleged sexism and racist remarks. Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, also is the ambassador in the Trump administration to England, Great Britain out there. So there were some allegations of sexual remarks and also racist remarks as well. Your thoughts on this? Jamal Adams called him out, said wrong is wrong, made that very clear. Bravo to Jamal Adams. He saw something. Hey, it's like, you remember the song? There's some hoes in this house. See him, point them out.
Hey, man.
See him, point them out.
Woody Johnson, owner of the Jets, haven't seen this guy since he's been selected ambassador. And you had 3 anonymous sources and a diplomat say something.
Yeah.
So I would expect a diplomat. I mean, eventually, hopefully, he can put his name to it, because diplomats, they don't normally do anything to them, so they shouldn't have any fear of repercussions. But I was reading some of the statements, some of the article. They talked about how he questioned why blacks needed Black History Month. Why was that necessary? The sexist remarks he's made. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look good. There's got to be a full investigation on this. I will think that the NFL was going to get involved and check this out and see if it's any validity to it. And if there is, they got to remove him from the team as owner or whatever, but we'll see.
Hey, Willie, Jamal Adams, he tweeted out, "We need the right people at the top. Wrong is wrong." Very succinct, very short, and very direct and to the point. Your thoughts?
Again, especially in the climate that we're in, if these alleged remarks are true, now we're at a point where people can actually have a safe zone to actually speak out about this.
He don't need no safe zone. He's like a machine gun. He's gonna let it fly.
Right, he does it, but the people that actually the alleged remarks, right? That actually outed Woody Johnson if he actually said this. So one of the things that really kind of resonated with me is when CNN first contacted him and asked him about these allegations, he actually didn't say anything about them, didn't deny them or anything. He just said it's an honor to serve as the ambassador of the UK. Then he tweeted out his denial after, and what he referenced when he tweeted out his denial also spoke to me as well. He talked about he didn't do anything that ran afoul of the laws of what that governs his position. And so what that says to me again is it allows you to be very insensitive, incredibly insensitive when you say that and you hide behind laws and you say these things. And so again, if this is real and he really said this, the other thing that it speaks to as well is, and we've said this before, is we live in a society where a particular subset of people, if they offend people, all it means is that they get to go up the ladder, right? And so so if they get to go up the ladder while they're offending people along the way, then the only thing they're going to do is continue to do it because they've been rewarded for the behavior. So if this is true, as Dee said, there probably has to be
alleged right now. He's under investigation.
Right.
We're going to presume that he's innocent until proven guilty.
It has to be taken seriously. And the other thing is, it also speaks again to the fact that, again, a certain subset of people can be successful in this country and not have to identify with anybody other than that subset of people that they belong to.
Yeah, good point. Any final thoughts, guys, before we move on? I want to see where this investigation goes, where it leads to, and see if there's any more, statements coming from Woody Johnson, who's currently under investigation for alleged sexual and racist remarks and comments. D-Dubs, you about to say something?
I think there's going to be people that are going to be able to corroborate, what he said. I think eventually it's going to come out. There's
a lot of smoke there.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of digging, and it's going to come out, and he's going to have to face the music. And I mean, then on top of it off, he becomes ambassador. How does he become ambassador? Because
That's the point. That's it.
Donald Trump's friend.
He's
a millionaire.
Cronyism.
You make him an ambassador. And I also read something about they were trying to get one of the golf tournaments moved from
the British Open.
Yeah,
the British Open.
Yes.
To Scotland, where Trump has one of his, golf courses.
Exactly.
I'm not surprised. I'm pretty sure you guys are not surprised because we've seen this kind of stuff going on for the last 3.5 years.
Right.
So
we'll see.
We'll see.
If you really want to put a stop to it, there's this thing called the election on November 3rd.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say on that one. So we'll see. Maybe an investigation won't mean anything if you have a new administration. So we'll leave it at that. Back in the NFL, we'll keep it in the NFL. We're talking the Green Bay Packers and Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra in Green Bay. The de facto GM, one of the administrators and top guys with the Packers, said they don't envision seeing no more than 10 to 12,000 max at Lambeau Field. So Lambeau Field is going to be one of the stadiums where you can actually have fans, but not a large contingent there. I think Lambeau Field holds about 80, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they can get 80 in there because with all the not construction, but added some seats to the stadium and things of that nature. So we have thoughts. That's what, if 10 out of 80,000, that's 1/8. That's what, about 12 to 15% capacity. They're not playing games with the Packers, who is a publicly owned team or whatever. So maybe that had something to do with it. What are your thoughts on this with the Murphy and those throwing out those numbers, 10 to 12,000 capacity at Lambeau, D-Dubs?
I wonder how that kind of works, being that they're owned by the fans.
Shareholders, yep.
Shareholders. I wonder how this whole pandemic and not being able to generate revenue affects that franchise. So their franchise is different. The Packers, they don't operate like the other 31 teams in the league. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, because they have to make things public.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a hot ticket. If you live in Green Bay, I don't know what else is going on in Green Bay. In the fall,
ice fishing, beer and cheese.
I mean, I would think the Packers are everything there. You want to get to that game, so that's a hot ticket to get. And then again, I think if you have the ticket, it might be worth a little something if you could if you could sell it. But yeah, I mean, but you're seeing this a lot with all these stadiums that are allowing, the government is allowing in that state to have fans. We're around that 10,000 to 15,000 mark. We've seen one stadium going up to close to 20, maybe in that range. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this works out. But that's going to be a hot ticket in Green Bay land.
They also have the National Cornhole Championships there on ESPN.
Yes, they do.
Right. So, Coach K, is that ESPN 2 or the Ocho?
I was going to say that's the Ocho.
Sometimes they put on that when they have the Ocho.
They do, yeah.
I think it follows depth diving, right?
Probably, yeah.
And racing the drones also.
That was actually pretty cool. Actually,
they actually do have that cornhole champions like on a pretty regular basis now.
Yeah.
Those guys are pretty good actually too. I saw one guy, man, throw one on a moving car. The car was going away from him. He threw the beanbag, boom, straight into the hole. Man, it was pretty cool. Your thoughts, Willie? Lambeau Field limited capacity 10 to 12,000. That's pretty small.
It is, and the other thing too. One of the things that I find interesting too is all the fans that we're talking about, because again, as everyone said, Green Bay does it differently with them being publicly owned. The fact that there won't be any opportunities to tailgate. So that was something that really spoke to me, in hearing of how the fans were talking about being bummed about tailgating. And in particular, there was one person that was actually in the military that's actually now back home and was looking forward to the opportunity to tailgate. And he won't have that this year. So again, I think that's one aspect where I think a lot of this we kind of don't look at it when we see the fans coming into the stadium. There are all sorts of fans that actually never go to the games. They congregate the tailgate, and they won't have that opportunity either. But it's interesting to me to see how we politicize this even with the fans, because we got some places in the north saying 10,000, 14,000, and then we have some red states that are like, we got to get 20.
Yeah, I know. They want 20.
It's just very interesting to me to see this.
But everything is between 10 and 20,000. We'll go to the next topic. It brings us to the next stadium, and that is Mercedes-Benz Stadium down there in the ATL. I did a Madden event last November down there. A really nice stadium, home of also Atlanta United, the Major League Soccer team as well. A beautiful venue. You got the huge bird out in front, man, the Falcon. Hell of a stadium that Arthur Blank has down there. Also, he was the one that funded our HBCU Heroes and Compete Forever HBCU Takeover NBA 2K tournament during the John Lewis Good Trouble movie. So definitely know the folks with Arthur Blank and the Arthur Blank Foundation. So we are appreciative of his efforts. You look at the Falcons, 10 to 20,000. Is going to be their limited seating capacity. Also, they did throw in some things about PSL's personal seat licenses, where they're going to credit people. They're going to give you a year to 4 repayment plan. Also, if you're a season ticket holder and you choose not to use your tickets, or if you do use your tickets, whatever you use or not use, it will be credited towards 2021. So they're certainly working with fans there in Atlanta. A lot of teams are doing this. Your thoughts on the details of Mercedes-Benz Stadium down there in Atlanta, D-Dubs?
I think it's very important. And you talk about the PSLs, and people, fight long and hard to get those season tickets, and you would hate to have to give those up. So the fact that they're working with fans and allowing them, say, if you don't feel comfortable coming this season, you won't lose your place or you won't lose your tickets. You're able to pick it up next season. I think I know they were doing that. I think Seattle was doing that as well. As you said, a lot of other teams are doing it. So I think that's very important, because Atlanta, the Falcons have a very, very strong fan base. Brand new stadium, so they want to put some seats. People paid a lot of money for those PSLs. They want to fill up some of those seats. So they were the first that I see to say their limit was about 20. So they're trying to stretch it a little bit.
Yeah, well, they've modified it now, 10 to 20,000. I haven't seen anyone go over 20. Most people are around that 14, 15,
Mhm.
12 to 15 range.
Ravens with 14.
Yep.
You know.
Dolphins around 15. Seen a
Yeah.
lot of 10s. I've seen no fans.
Yeah,
So
right.
we
Yeah.
seen a couple 20s. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Y'all pushing it a little bit.
yeah, and we talk about political, also talk about what's going on in Georgia, the state of Georgia, between the governor and the mayor of Atlanta.
Yeah,
You
Keisha
know,
Lance Bottoms, absolutely.
Yeah, she wants people to wear masks, and then the governor's suing her, telling her that you can't enforce that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it doesn't surprise me that
Right.
now maybe the governor is allowing, hey, y'all can have 20.
Right.
Maybe we might allow you to have 25.
Sure.
Because he wants to maybe please some other folks in other areas of the country.
I think everyone, look, if the government can't force it, then let's do what some of these stores and corporations are doing, which is force people, all of the customers, to wear masks. I was in Newark today and I went to the mall. I had to have a mask on, got my temperature taken. I was going shopping around in Newark. They had law enforcement people enforcing the laws, going in the stores like, tell them to put on masks or we're fining you, store. So, I mean, it's a $500 fine. So, look, I mean, there are ways to sort of combat this and get us all, towing the same line here and get us all in line and crack the whip here. Your thoughts, A. Willie, on the Falcons and what they're doing with Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Gorgeous facility down there in the A.
No, incredible facility. And I'm sure that any way, again, that we can try and realize some of that revenue that's lost with not having sold out stadiums is something that all the teams will look to do. But I do like the fact that the Falcons are being very flexible with the fans and saying, hey, if you don't have a comfort level, certainly understand that. And here's how we'll work with you. I think that's very important because lots of people won't have a comfort level, especially when you're talking about a sport, again, that Georgia, it's starting to heat up down there and they have a political fight going on down, right?
Now it's literally heating up. It's hot as hell in Atlanta.
Right. And and it's the numbers are going up a little bit down there as well. And you're talking about a sport again where you're playing in a state where the numbers are going up and you're saying you want to have 20,000 fans in the seats and the players aren't in a bubble. So I think that's just something.
Well, they're in a dome.
Right. That's the bubble. Yeah.
They're in a steel bubble.
Right. So I just think, again, any way that we can make sure that you're working with the fans to do this, because again, we're talking about an ailment that has disproportionately affected people that looks like us. And there are a lot of us in Atlanta. So with that being said, I think this is something not to take lightly. And I think, the organizations, all of the organizations should be very thoughtful about what they do. And the more that I think about it, I'm going to say this. I agree with D. There should be no fans. Period.
Ooh, there he is. He's jumping on.
Period.
No fans.
Derwin, how do you feel, man? You got people agreeing with you, man.
And keep a clean playing field, no fans, no home field advantage for nobody. You allow the huddles to be a little bit bigger because you have to worry about crowd noise, keep people a little bit more safer. It's just line up and play. You don't need 10,000 fans. What's the point?
Look, I don't disagree. I'm just saying I don't see it as a huge advantage.
You keep saying that.
Well, okay. It's like being in high school and you have no fans, and then you go somewhere and they got a dozen.
That's different.
If you extrapolate it, it's about the same. Okay, it's like, all right, 10,000 to no fans. They'll make a little noise, but you don't need the helmet communication system. You can just call plays at that point. I mean, actually, with no fans, you could probably hear what the hell they're doing.
With this COVID,
you can hear the quarterback.
Hey, with this COVID, why not go to a full? Everyone have microphones in their helmets. That way you don't have to have a tight huddle. How about that? That's something they could have done, possibly.
All right, XFL. We'll see.
I'm just saying.
We'll see.
You got one guy got the helmet, and he hears something for 15 seconds.
You got the green dot. Yep.
Yeah. Let everybody here to play. We don't got to be all up in everybody's face in the huddle. Back up. You know, play.
We're making light of this, but it's going to be interesting because football is we talk about the strategy. It's very strategic. A lot of these coaches are, let's just say, paranoid.
Yes.
So you're looking at a very competitive sport, man. I want to see the dynamic play out. Put it there. I want to see if people are stealing signs and they can hear stuff. Like that's gonna happen. I mean, everybody's probably gonna have on a mask. Like, we're not doing anything. We're gonna cover up everything. You see the offensive coordinators and the play callers doing that.
Right.
Maybe they put on masks now, because now the TV cameras are catching everything. And audio, we can hear that as well. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think we're making jokes, but I know these are things that NFL teams are talking about
For
right
sure.
now. Paranoid as they are.
Sure.
We'll keep it in the NFL. Heading out west, getting closer to one of A. Willie's towns, L.A. Just like, an hour flight from Vegas to L.A., something like that? If that. Yeah, 45
probably
minutes
about 30, 40 minutes. Probably about 40 minutes.
Yeah, about 30 minutes in the air. I don't even think you get 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
It's like flying down. It's like flying to freaking Philly. I'm like, I don't know if we get 35,000 feet.
Right.
Your thoughts on Allegiant Stadium? Beautiful stadium. John Gruden said it's the best stadium he's ever seen.
Awesome.
Yeah, it does look good in the desert. I mean, it sticks out. It looks totally Raiders. It looks like the New World Order, or the Darth Vader or something like that with the. With the what do they call those guys? Not the Order. What do they call? Come on, help me out.
Stormtroopers.
No. They're not stormtroopers. What's the name of the group?
Evil Empire.
Yeah, the Evil Empire. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's Star. That's
Dark Side. Yeah, Death
Death
Star.
Star.
Yeah, Death Star. Yeah, exactly. So, my kids aren't here, so I don't have anybody to bounce things off of. What do you guys think? You look at it. Mark Davis, the owner, said probably they're leaning towards no fans, but if he does make the decision that they have no fans, he will not attend the games. And I contend you can't do that, Mark Davis. You're the owner. How are you going to build this beautiful stadium and not go? Because you need to be there.
Right.
Like,
he's at one with his fan base.
Oh, okay.
Why not? That's how I'm looking at it. Sure. He said, if you guys ain't going to be there, I'm not going to be there.
Your team is
follow the money,
dude.
Follow the money.
I can maybe count on one finger how many times I didn't see the owner at the games when I cover them for those teams. There's really no reason they're not there. They're always there.
Yeah. They're always there. But if the owner's saying that,
because they're not there during the week, they don't go to practice. But damn it, they go to games, Derwin. Like that's what they do.
But what he's saying is, if they're not allowed for the game.
Yeah, that's talk though. That makes no sense.
Just follow the money.
Hold on, time out. But if he says it, he has to stay. He has to stay with it. You can't say that and then we pan the camera at week one. There he is eating nachos. It's not gonna work.
What I'm saying is he shouldn't have said it, and he needs to take it back now.
Why?
Because he's gonna. Your stadium opens up the first year, and you're not going. All the blood, sweat, and tears. Playing in Oakland with feces and sewage backing up, and the
gauntlet's still gonna be on fire. The gauntlet's still gonna be burning. Hey, who's to say after week 6 or week 8, the Nevada government says, we're in the clear. Now you can have fans.
That's a good point.
He
better be hoping for that. He's hoping for that outcome.
But he's showing solidarities and one with the fans.
Sounds good. It doesn't make sense.
Stop hating on him.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying sometimes things sound good until you start scratching. Like it makes no damn sense.
He said it already. Cat's out the bag.
Kind of like the Colin Kaepernick argument that you have. It just doesn't make sense at times.
You always
it sounds good in your head. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get him today, and you're like, no, he's got a point. That makes no sense at all.
It sounds good to say I'm fighting for racial inequality, and then you disappear. That sounds good too. We don't see it. We don't see or hear from you. You vanish. You underneath a rock.
I'm not.
And every once in a blue moon, you pop up when it's convenient. That sounds good too.
I'm not going to let him slander Kaepernick. Kaepernick does plenty of things behind the scenes.
Racial equality. I ain't talking about charity. I ain't talking about giving away money.
I'd like to hear him speak, and we will. They've got to deal with Disney.
When? Oh, he's not even speaking. Jamil Hill is speaking.
We just praise all baseball and all these other sports for kneeling and taking the stands. They're doing it because of him.
I mean, he did speak. He spoke volumes when he had the first gesture.
Let's be clear. Be clear, A. Willie. He took a knee because it was suggested to him. His idea of protesting was sitting on the bench by himself.
Sure.
Right, but nonetheless, but the point is he was protesting. And we all know this. And
that's what he said.
And we're all in the media, and we know this. The most effective way that your message can be conveyed is get somebody else to carry the flag for you.
Right.
And that's
what get allies, or get some allies.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Well, and not only that, it's like in an economy, right? The president gets the credit for it, right? Because he's there. Colin Kaepernick's going to get the credit because he took the arrows, bro. The great Nate Boyer, a former, a Marine, Green Beret. I think a correct, sort of suggestion by Nate, but he did it, and he did it alone. So yeah, he's sort of a martyr in that sense. But we don't want to get too much into that. We digress.
Yes,
we spent plenty of weeks on Colin Kaepernick.
Off topic, we talk about the Raiders, and then he didn't even play for the Raiders. He played in San Francisco, and then you
across the bay. Across the bay, that's near the Raiders.
He played in Nevada, but still.
And UNLV is going to play at Allegiant Stadium. We can do this all day. 6 No, good stuff. Now, Derwin's right on that. I just, I like to rope him in every now and then into the Colin Kaepernick debate. Real quickly, we're doing good time. Let's get out of here with this next two. The Hawks uniforms, guys, your thoughts? Hawks uniforms, love them. Love the black ones. Love the white ones. Love the red ones, too. But definitely those black ones, straight fire, like hot fire. Love those for the 2020-21 season. Ice Tray and those boys look good. Hopefully, they'll look good. They'll play good. We already know they're getting paid good. They just got to play good. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Right?
But those rookies, those John Collins and Trae Young still have work to do. They haven't gotten paid good yet.
Ice Tray doing all right.
No, I'm talking about
mega money. Yeah, but he's doing
they're on their rookie deals. They're still on their rookie deals.
He's got endorsements and stuff, so he's doing all right. Yeah.
Oh, you sound like the Dak people.
Well, get your money, dog.
Yes,
get your money. Let me make that clear. Get your money.
I like the black uniforms, and the white ones are really nice. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, we had their head coach on here a couple of weeks ago. Likable guy.
Lloyd Pierce, yeah.
Right. And if they don't win games, he's not going to have a long time, as
going into his 3rd season.
So those guys got to look good. They got they spend money on new uniforms, new marketing, for the uniforms. Got to win some games.
Got to give him 2 years. I think 4 years minimum to see what he can do.
Young.
He took over a dog of a daggone franchise. Yeah. It's amazing they won 20 plus games this year. So, I mean, look, next year, like I said, get what I said a couple of weeks ago, hey, Willie, you get the 30-35, you're sniffing the 8th seed in the East.
In the East, yes,
and then you build and you get the 35-40 in year 4, and maybe you are in the playoffs with those new uniforms for the 2nd year. But the work that he's doing in the community, let's not lose sight of that. He's earned the right to sort of lead these guys, what he has to deal with in that climate, in that state, with that team, and all of the disadvantages that they've been dealt with. I think he's going to make some strides. And look, you got to give him credit for the things he's already done, which has been making strides from year 1 to year 2. So last thoughts on the Hawks unis?
No, I think they're great. And especially for a team that one of the things I'll say about the Hawks, and it's out of necessity, but oftentimes, as we know, when we get to this level, sometimes because people have attained the success that they've had, it's hard for them to change. It's hard for them to admit when they're wrong. One of the things I can say about the Hawks they are not scared to try different things. They're trying to find whatever they can find from a uniform and apparel standpoint.
It's like trying to find your voice.
Yes. Yeah. No question. No question. So they changed things. They brought Pac-Man back, right?
Yes.
So now,
love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so all those things that they can do to kind of give a nod to their history when they had some pretty prominent teams there, I think is a good thing. And so, again, as I said, oftentimes we see this with draft picks, especially when teams won't admit that they made a mistake. And they get afraid to move off of a draft pick, so they try to shove it down your throat. So I'll say to the Hawks, well, you're sort of changing clothes while everybody's looking. So I give them some props for doing that.
Derwin, any last thoughts before I move on?
Just win. Look, your guys look good now. Just go out there, win some games, make the playoffs, and make a coach proud.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, because they've got a great coach, and we want to see him around. He's one of the great young minds. Learned from some of the best out there. Was on the Philly bench. Now going into year 3 for the 2020-21 season down there in the ATL. Bring back the old highlight factory. You know what? Let's just make it all retro from the 80s and into the early 90s with those Hawks. Last topic, guys. The SWAC made it official earlier this week. No fall sports. They're moving everything to the spring. I believe 8 weeks to ramp up starting in January to sort of train, get ready. The season will likely start. Football season will start somewhere around end of February, early March. 7-game schedule, 6 games in conference, 1 out of conference. Which I think what the SWAC is doing. I think the Big Ten and the Pac-12 kind of jumped the shark, jumped the gun, got a little jittery. The SWAC has it about right. And watch you see the SEC and the ACC next week say conference games +1. And the SWAC was already there. They had the middle of the road. Maybe they could have waited for the fall, but they're going to go in the spring. Your thoughts on what the SWAC did with the fall sports in the Southwestern Athletic Conference? D-Dubs?
I think it was a good move. Now they're gonna play. There's no fall sports.
No fall
They're
sports.
playing it. No fall sports. So you're not gonna see any Division 2s, Division 3s, and a lot of the lesser the D1s. They're not gonna try to play any fall sports. They're
That's
gonna
a
try
good
to.
question. Like I'm looking at my school, Conference USA. What are
They're
they going to
not.
do? We know the
They're
Power
not.
5 will play.
The
That's a good question.
that's
That's an open
it.
question. Yep.
It's just the
Okay.
Power 5. No one else is gonna. They're just delaying. They haven't officially announced it yet. But then nobody's gonna be playing any fall sports right now.
You don't
Everyone's
think
gonna.
Conference USA, AAC, Sun Belt? What are these? The other 5, the non-Power 5 schools. What do you think those? Dude, there's like 130 Division 1 teams. Only half of them are the Power 5.
I don't think so, man.
How many are the Power 5? Like 65, somewhere around there.
65, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
I think you're onto something, Durham. But the more I
don't-
talk this out, I'm like, that sounds crazy. But you're right.
I don't think they're going to. I think the Power 5 is trying to hang on to every single dollar.
Yes.
And they know that Alabama knows and LSU know they can't play spring football because they won't have a team to put out there for the spring because guys are getting ready for that combine in the draft.
Yeah.
So this is their opportunity. Right now they're talking about, we're only going to do conference games. Now somebody said conference games +1, whatever. But time is ticking.
It is.
August is coming.
Well, look, ACC and the SEC, last week they met. They said by the end of July. That's all the reporting I've heard all month. You're right. They've got a Fisher cut bait August 1. So next week is their last week to sort of sit on this thing. But they have to have some sort of decision coming here very soon. Hey, Willie, your thoughts? SWAC, Southwestern Athletic Conference down there with those great schools like Grambling, Jackson State, things like that. Yeah, Prairie View, Alcorn, Texas Southern. All those good Southern Bayou Classic between SU and Grambling. Yeah, good stuff.
No, trailblazing. I think they're doing the right thing here again because not only are they taking in the safety of their student athletes as well, and also too, the other thing is they are actually doing a great job of holding on to the actual heritage and term student athlete because they're saying until we figure out what's going on, until we can start looking at bringing some students on campus, et cetera, we can't have any sports. Whereas the other leagues are still hiding behind that, at least in the Power 5, hiding behind that student athlete term, but really acting like professionals, where we're going to have these kids out here playing football with no students on campus.
Yep.
And also too, we've talked about this before, and this is my mindset again. I think we're starting to see the stage set for the Power 5 to move on and do their own thing. So this
nothing like taking advantage of a pandemic, huh?
No, exactly. And I'm gonna do a California reference here. If California were to separate from the union, it'd be the 6th richest country in the world. Right.
Yeah, it's like the 5th largest economy. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, I see the Power 5 looking at this and again being as some of the teams that aren't in the Power 5 are saying, you know what, we'll probably lose more money with the ability since we can't play the Power 5, we'll lose more money playing.
And
so
that's the king. That's the
Right.
thing. We don't have
So
the huge TV deal. We're losing money. It's actually better to lose. It's the lesser of two evils. We've talked about this for a month now. Lose a little bit of money or lose a lot of money.
right,
You're still
right,
losing.
right. And the Power Five can say, you know what, with the pandemic, we can start looking at what it looks like when we're doing our own thing.
Well, they've cut everybody out. Now it's like completely. We're taking the cake and we're just leaving. So you're
Right,
not even getting crumbs
right, right,
at this point.
right.
So, yeah, good stuff. We'll see about the SWAC. On a personal note, we're working on something with the SWAC. Hopefully, we'll be able to come up with something. We'll keep that in our mind. I can't talk a lot about it, but we had some conversations with the SWAC that reached out to us today. So hopefully, we'll all be able to eat off this SWAC plate coming here soon. We're working on some things. I'll keep you guys on the loop on it. Real quickly, college football. Want to get your thoughts. College football. Will we get a playoff in December, or you think they'll have to start and stop, and then maybe pick up in the spring anyway? What are your thoughts? Because we're going to get the second wave probably October, November.
Is
Real
this
quickly.
is this what we're pushing for to get to the playoffs? I mean,
I know what I'm saying is we think they'll start. The question is, I guess, will they finish?
they're still gonna have bowl. Are they still gonna have bowl games too?
That's a very good question. You're going to have the college football playoff because the college football playoff has been in the middle of all the discussions, and they've told everyone whatever you guys come up with, we'll work around it and we'll have that. That's a good question. Will
That's
you just
normally
have what?
3 stadiums,
Stadiums, yeah.
3 stadiums.
Yep.
So a couple of the bowls just won't be happening. I guess I don't know if they still have the Cotton Bowl, the Peach Bowl, Citrus Bowl.
So you got the six, you got the New Year's Six, right? Yeah.
Rose Bowl,
Yep. Sugar Bowl, yep.
So some of those I don't expect those to happen.
Yeah.
What's the end game? We got to find out what the end game is here. Okay, you play the regular season, then what? We just want to play. We still want to have some bowl games and do the playoffs.
Exactly.
I would think that's what they want to do because I think they're greedy. That's what they want to do.
Exactly.
What's the structure of it? That's exactly what we want to learn. That's what we're talking about here. I mean, because you're right. Are you just playing games just for the sake of playing games? All right, you get 4, 5, 6 games in, and then you got to shut it down. Then what? It's like, there's been no talk of bowl games. Durham brought up a very good point. I was just literally thinking about the college football playoff. I forgot. The 30. What is it? I think 38 to 40 bowl games.
It's crazy amount of bowl games. There's too many bowl games.
It's high 30s or 40. Yeah.
But that's what these universities play for. If they don't get to be in the championship, they get to go to a great bowl game, whether it be the Rose Bowl, Peach Bowl, whatever, Orange Bowl. They want to get to a bowl game. So
Toilet Bowl. It's all,
yeah. You're not going to have a full campus of students, but you still want to play games and go to a bowl, I guess.
All right, let's get out of here, guys.
Professionals.
Yep, let's get out of here. Lastly, Compete Forever on Black News Channel, 2 days. Coming up this weekend, episode 8. It's our Compete Forever Madden NFL Foxwoods Grand Finals, the Summer Series Grand Finals there this weekend live on Black News Channel. You can watch 11 a.m. Eastern and also 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday and Sunday, both days. Once again, Black News Channel, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time. What is that on the West Coast, Willie? That's 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific time, right?
Yes.
My math right?
No. Wait, so if it's 7 times again?
I screwed it up. 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern. So that is 8 a.m. and 3 p.m.
It's 3 p.m. on the West.
Okay. And 8 a.m. on the West.
And 8 a.m. in the West. Yep. Okay.
Breakfast with Compete Forever, not breakfast with Wimbledon. Breakfast with Compete Forever this weekend. We're just going to keep it on the East Coast time. I was trying to be cute, and I screwed it up. What happens when you do things live here? Go ahead.
No East Coast bias, man.
No, we got East Coast bias. We on the East Coast. There's bias. Hey, when I was growing up in the Central Time Zone, I recall all TV shows that said blah, 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 Eastern Time. That's how it was. That's how it was laid out to me.
Blank Pacific.
No, it's up to you, America, to take off the time and figure out your time zone. Go to the East Coast, baby.
Well, you know what? I feel sorry for people that in places in like Indiana where it's like, you know, right. One time a year they're in the Central Time, and then another time of year they're in the Eastern Time Zone. So,
Phoenix is like that too, right?
Arizona,
yeah.
Like
Mountain and Pacific,
Yeah. So, yeah, good stuff, guys. Compete Forever once again this weekend. Black News Channel, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, both Saturday and this Sunday. You can watch Black News Channel nationally on Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity cable systems, and also Charter Spectrum cable systems as well. Episode 8, Compete Forever Madden NFL Summer Series Grand Finals at Foxwoods Resort Casino, the largest resort casino in North America this weekend. All right, guys, good stuff. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, it's good to see that football's coming up soon, and the NFL has said that it's not mandatory that they have to wear that bottom shield on the helmet. So I know a lot of football players are going to be happy about that.
Sure. You already got some guys reporting, some rookies and things of that nature. Next week, the veterans will report, I believe, next Tuesday, right? The 28th, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's the reporting date that they're talking about and throwing out there. Good stuff. Any last thoughts from you, Willie?
Excited that basketball is here. The Lakers are on right now. So we got to see what they're doing. Also excited that the W is starting this weekend.
Yes.
So I'll be watching a lot of those games as well.
Good.
So big sports weekend for me. Excited for it, and you guys travel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
And we got to say what's up to Snook and Diddy and
Snook and Diddy
and Renee Montgomery. We miss you.
Renee. Yep. Serena. We'll get to see Serena and the guys. Hopefully we'll go out. We'll all have Waffle House or Cracker Barrel or something. I know for certain it'll be some fine Southern cuisine that we'll get into while we're down in the A. So yeah, good stuff. Daryl, you gonna say something?
No, I'm good. I'm trying to get to these Yankees.
Hey, I know. Let me get out of here. What's the score? What's the score?
It was 2-1 Yankees. I think Stanton hit a 2-run home run or something in the first inning.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so Yankees were up. No, yes, they're still up. 2-1, top of the third.
2-1, top third. Pinstripes. Bombers.
Oh no, excuse me. Sorry.
Update.
4-1 Yankees. 4-1 Yankees. Middle of the fifth.
Oh, okay. All right. Pinstripers. Garrett Cole getting to and touching up a little bit. Max Scherzer down.
Yeah, we don't care if you got your rings tonight.
Look at little look on his face. Look at him.
We don't care if you got your rings. He got rings too.
Look at his look. Y'all got 25 more rings than the Nationals. You see that look at us? It's like, we don't care about your little rings.
D, I got one on you.
You got one on me?
I got one on you in 04. I got one on you.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, the Red Sox have won 4 this century. Yankees just won. So yeah, let's make that official.
You can't
go ahead,
all
D.
the time. You can't.
Poo-poo on the championship. Go ahead.
And not only that,
it took the Red Sox long enough.
4 in the last 15 years, actually. So yeah, not bad. City of champs, man.
Okay.
Boston. We can park the car. We can go to Fenway Park, man. Good stuff. Throw up the A's, man, for Renee. Throw up the A's for Renee. All right, good stuff, guys. Thank you, man. Kevin Mamuzet pushing all the right buttons. I'll see you in the morning as we head down to the A. Durham Warrell down there in the Palm Beaches, the Royal Palm Beach, the Regal side of West Palm Beach, near Okeechobee and Ponce de Leon. He'll be swimming in the Fountain of Youth. That's what he says. We'll see about that. Also, Willie, man, tell Siobhan I said Siobhan's in the house.
The boss is in the house.
Hey, so she sent you, dog. I like it. Good stuff. We'll see you
Let
guys.
me come outside to play.
Hey, anytime she lets you come outside to play, we're all for that, man. For everyone here on Compete Forever and esportsXTRA, I'm Larry Ridley. We'll see you, I guess, next Wednesday. No show on Sunday. We'll see you back again for esportsXTRA, the only live call-in sports show talking traditional sports and esports right here on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So long from the tri-state area. Good night and be safe.